see our brothers make it. You know what I'm saying? You want to see me make it. I want to see you make it. And it's like that giving. I call it the giving. To me is like recycle. You know, I give, that you give, and we have hands out giving. It's each of us give and keep giving to one another. Somebody's going to receive. But that person who also have a heart of giving is given to that person. So it's never ending. You know, once you change hands, one gives, and then change hands again, the other gives. And it's like, if we all come to that, come to that in our spirit of giving one another or comforting one another, we don't have time to hate one another. And it's like walking in love. It's a higher, it's the fruit of the spirit, So, we want to see that rectified in there. I always use like the sun, and I use a rainbow. Now we all know that the rainbow is what? The covenant of the Most High. But it's like a marriage right there. It's like a marriage right there too, along with that covenant. Because when the sun shines and there's a rainbow, what is there in the middle? It's the little particles of water. And that little particles of water is the word. And the rainbow, each color, to me, represents the fruits of the Spirit. How we should magnify the fruits of the Spirit. Being that Yahweh is the husband, and we're the church. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm seeing this in this brotherly love scripture. How we should magnify each other with the fruits of the Spirit and sustain each other with the particles of water, with the word, as we look towards the brightest one, who is Yahweh, who sent the next to the brightest one, Yahweh Shai. So I see how that's some relation to the church. It's just something that it just came to my mind.
Come. As they say, they even say this on the left-hand side, as above, so below. That works in truth too, to where things we see in nature, like you pointed out, when we meditate on, they give us deeper spiritual understanding behind the connection we have on this higher spiritual realm. That's a good observation. But now this is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14, and I'll read down to verse 18. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14 and 18, and we'll close out here for the evening. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14 reads, "The great day of Yahweh is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly." Right? So the great day of Yahweh is on its way. It's getting closer. It says even the mighty man, a man that has forces or wealth, or who has might, military might, it says he shall cry bitterly in that day. Because all his wealth and all his strength won't save him in that time. 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. You see that? So going into what this dark day that's looming ahead. But now, just as the Most High said, the day of the Lord will come like a woman in childbirth. We know those horrible pangs she goes through as she leads up to what? Delivering a child. As intense and as painful as they are, after she gives birth to the child and holds the child, it's like all that pain just goes away. She's taken away by the beautiful life now that she, through the Most High, has brought into the world, into the earth. So it's interesting how extreme pleasure and euphoria can shortly follow after extreme intense and an intense pain. So when Christ comes back, it's going to be in a similar fashion, right? So once again, things in nature reflected in what? Things are going to happen on a spiritual level, on a higher level. It says, a day of the trumpet and alarm. You see that? So this is a day of a trumpet and alarm, like we read about in Numbers 10. So the trumpet is going to be used in that day as well. An alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. You see that? So fenced cities that are protected, high towers won't be protected from the Most High, right? No matter how strong they are, or how established they are, or no matter how many people buy into this or buy into that, or protect this, protect that, it's going to be alarm against even those cities. Verse 17, "And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung." You see that? So now, this is what men who don't turn back to the Lord had to look forward to. A death of dishonor. You see, because they constantly walk in death by their transgression. Verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath. So yeah, keep stacking up, right? Box yourself in, get into your bunker. Go underground. Go up into the space station. Try to hide out in your submarine underwater. There won't be anywhere you can hide from the Most High's judgment in that day. Stack up your gold and silver to, buy up land in the next days, or the next days you think are coming. It won't matter.
That's like.
Yeah.
That's like this quick comment. That's like the Deuteronomy chapter 68, and no one shall buy you. It's like that's coming back on them. You ain't gonna buy yourself out of that.
Yeah, how about that? Exactly. Zephaniah chapter 1, 14. I'm in verse 18. So I'll read verse 18 from the top. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. You see that? Why is the Most High jealous? He's jealous over what? Our love. Because why? He knows that he's most important above all. But now it makes him jealous when he sees us chase after vanity. Things that he made himself. Things that we made with our hands, but through power of the Most High, and we make those things our God. It shames it. It hurts his feelings, right? When we do these things. But now, the Most High being a man of his word, he has to give us over to our own ruin. But now we decide to make amends with what we've done and do that which is right. He'll then, according to his word, according to his promise, reward us for such things. So, if we're in the word of the Most High, as we've been reading, we won't have to worry about these things. But for many of our brothers and sisters in our nation and the heathen round about us, they won't hearken. And they'll look forward and experience this, what we're reading right here. So that's it. So anyone else have any questions or comments before we close out for the evening? Anybody on the teleconference or on the live stream chat have any of the scriptures or?
Are you sure that is hooked up? Because I haven't heard about one person.
They could just be listening.
Oh, yeah, just listening.
And plus the phone thingy is off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, being that it's off the hook, you're not gonna hear people breathe, and stuff like that.
No one on the conference line has any questions or comments, right?
No questions right now. You know what, Khan? I do have a very short one. I wasn't able to hear the entire service. But did you go into, I know you went into Hebrews, but was there anything that showed the more blowing of trumpets in the New Testament where Yahweh kept that or anything like that?
Colossians 2:16, which tells you, let a man judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days. As part of your new moon notes, you probably already had that verse, because the more blowing of trumpets is the new moon. It's just the seventh new moon.
Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the. I thought I had it on speaker, but that was my mistake.
Right, you said calculations.
So you have that verse?
Colossians 2:16.
That's a good question, though, because you already know the people's mentality. They're saying, "Oh, that was in Leviticus. That's the Old Testament." But now we know Christ comes in the volume of the book.
Right.
Also, in 1 Kings 8:2, there was another name for the seventh month in the feast of Memorial of blowing the trumpet, which is called Antonym, and you can see that Solomon also kept the feast. 1 Kings 8:2.
I am black and comely, O daughters of Jerusalem. Go ahead, King Solomon.
All right.
Con. So 1 Kings 8 and 2 is the name of the seventh month, called Ethanim. All right, thwada for that. Yeah, we didn't do that. We didn't do that tonight, for time's sake. But you just do a concordance look up on the seventh month. You'd be surprised what you find. There's different things in history that took place during the seventh month. That's a fun exercise to do, and I do that sometimes. I remember the sister pointed out a couple Sabbaths back. We were going through something, and I think it mentioned the seventh month. We were reading Jeremiah a couple Sabbaths ago, and you said, "Yeah, this is this what we're reading right now. This history is going on during the seventh month." I think remember you said that.
Yeah, the seventh month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying this is the seventh month, and it says on the Feast of Tabernacles, seventh month. That was very interesting. Like I said, have they made a mistake?
Also, when you read in Revelation 8 and 2 as well, you read, how the Most High, our 7 angels were given 7 trumpets. So just to see how important the number 7 is in association with the trumpet as well.
Kind.
I noticed the two numbers that, see, and their multiples is 7 and 12, and their multiples.
Like 24, or like you'll see 14, which is 7 times 2, 14 generations between Abraham and David. David to the carrying away of Babylon, to Christ.
It is so unusual, but I see where Christ speaks, you have to forgive 70 times 7.
Right.
It's like,
There's actually a class I have. We haven't gone through it yet, but I call it righteous numerology, where I go through different things where you go into scriptures. It's easy to put a class together like this because you just use your concordance along with your spiritual memory. You can pretty much pull up all the different places where you see 7 used. Some of it's more like kind of monotonous, like okay, seventh day, but you'll see how 7 is used in a lot of different instances. Like even an example of Ezra in Psalms 119 where he says, "I'll praise the Lord 7 times in a day." So you'll see that 7 come up in different ways, at different times. But it's definitely a righteous number.
The devil try to use it for wickedness, 7th day Adventist.
So that closes our service for Memorial Blowing the Trumpets. Lord's will, we'll be having on a teleconference. We'll be having a class tomorrow evening, along with this Friday evening coming up. The Sabbath will be this Sabbath as usual. And remember, the 5th at sundown, October the 5th at sundown, is going to be our next major holy day during the 7th month, which will be the Day of Atonement. So October 5th at sundown will be the Day of Atonement. And we'll go through some scriptures just to deal with that as far as some preparation you may want to make or practice you may want to do. Get ready for that day if you've never kept it before as far as keeping the fast. So we'll touch on scriptures along with just different advice and encouragement as far as how to prepare for that day when it comes in and what to do. So once again, October 5th on your calendar at sundown is going to be the next it's going to be the Day of Atonement because the Sabbath day this week is going to be the next holy day. After that, it's going to be the Day of Atonement, October the 5th at sundown. It's going to go from the 5th at sundown to the 6th at sundown. So just to be ahead of the game, you'll notice if you look at the top on your web browser, what you'll see is you have a link called Holy Days. Click that link and you'll have a PDF there of the different holy days that we keep. Is a document, a PDF document. We have scriptures to go with each holy day. So it's always good to read those scriptures ahead of time before we come into that day, that you're familiar with the material and what we're going to be keeping. And also you can ask questions in the class before that day comes in. When you read through it, you can say, "Yeah, I was reading through the holy day paper and I read that verse on there, but I didn't understand exactly what it was saying. What was that talking about?" And we can talk about that beforehand. So you definitely read the scriptures as it pertains to not only the Day of Atonement, but tabernacles too. And the other holy days are going to be taking place in this month. All right, so there's nothing else. I'll say shalom, right, and happy feast to the memorial blowing of trumpets. And with that, we'll do closing prayers.
Oh, wow.